Michael, we're at Gray Box tonight for a little bit of relaxation after a lot of hard and emotional work. What brought us here tonight?
Well, I'm here reluctantly, but I'm here to celebrate, I think, a collective effort that a team of us really had worked hard in moving the needle to restore funding that the Department of Health cut for the AIDS Drug Assistance Program that really jeopardized thousands of people living with HIV from having access to their HIV medications.
Did we have an idea that this was coming in, or did we just get blindsided one idle Tuesday?
We were completely blindsided. Information began to leak on January 7th that a letter dated January 8th was going out to clients, letting them know that they'd be terminated from the program effective March 1.
And what was your first response? Who was your first call?
I can't remember who the first call was to, but all I remember is I was in the middle of trying to pack and get ready to go to Tallahassee to advocate on modernizing Florida's outdated statute on HIV criminalization. And that was really what I was going up there to engage in advocacy on this past session. But as soon as we learned that the ADAP program was at crisis, it was something that had to completely pivot. And even when I got up there, I never expected to stay for the entire legislative session and just put my entire life on hold to be up there. And so it's just really overwhelming.
Educate me just a little bit. Everybody's saying like it's a 90-day extension, it gets us through June. Are we going to have to do this again, or is it just expected that full funding will be restored in the new budget?
No, we're going to be going back up. I'll be going to Tallahassee. They're probably going to do the budget conference at the same time that they do the special session on redistricting. And so we will find out then what's in store. Right now we have, I think, a commitment that they're going to continue what they're doing right now, which we've been able to negotiate, but we want more. We want the program to be fully restored, we want premium assistance to be returned, and we want Biktarvy back on the formulary. We're starting to hear from people who use Biktarvy who can't go to the clinical comparable regimen, and so we're trying to make sure that we restore ADAP fully to people who need it.
I'm seeing this room fill up right now. What does it mean to see all these people out here to say thank you and sort of band together for the future?
I'm not going to lie, it's overwhelming. This issue's touched so many people's lives. So many people have lost people to HIV/AIDS over the last several decades, and so, when I was up there just hearing messages through social media of how important this issue was to them because of a family member or a loved one that they had lost, or someone that they know that's currently struggling and trying to figure their way how to access the medications come March 1. It's just all overwhelming. But I think, I was reminded by Nadine Smith several years ago, we have to take a moment to pause and celebrate the victories that we have, and not just, look at what we didn't get. And there's a lot we didn't get this legislative session. We didn't get premium assistance. We lost access to Biktarvy for individuals. And it angers me, but at the same time, we were able to make sure that more individuals living with HIV continue to have access to life-saving medications by at least protecting the eligibility at 400% of the federal poverty limit. And I think that's, that is something to celebrate, because what the health department had in store was really turning back the clock and making AIDS something, making HIV possibly something into AIDS and bringing us back to the Reagan days.
Anything else I haven't hit on that you want to get across tonight?
We have legislators here, both Democrat and Republican. I know there's several Republican senators that are here that were incredibly helpful in this process. And so they're here to celebrate this victory as well. But we're also going to be all rolling our sleeves up as we go back to Tallahassee to try to fully restore the program.